Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Surah Kahf, a brief summary of ayah number 12 to 16. So, in the previous ayahs, Allah mentions the men who took a shade inside the cave and they escaped their town because the king wanted them to believe in their God, in their idols. So they went to the cave and asked Allah for guidance, and then Allah guided them through the cave to the mountain. And then Allah took their hearing from them in order to they could sleep. So then Allah describes then when we raised them up, like when they woke up again. These were they divided into two groups on the basis of how long did they sleep for, because some had a point that they slept for just a few hours, and said that some were of the opinion that they slept for a day. So they had an argument about it, and the reason Allah mentions it here is that how easily can guys break out into an argument. It's so easy for them. So Allah said that we wanted to know that which one of the groups is correct, which one's going to count. And the word for counting used here is asa, which means pebble. It can do two things for you. First, it is used for counting, and secondly, it can be used to keep record. Then Allah said that they slept for a long duration, a very long duration, and in the end they acknowledged that they were out for a while. Then in the middle Allah stops. Here Allah wants us to appreciate that He's the one who's telling the story to us with the truth, because the Christians and Jews would ask, who are the people of the cave? They would inquire a lot. And secondly, with the purpose that the story has to do with the conflict between the dunya and akhirah. It's battle against the materialism. So that's why they stood up for, the men went against the materialism. And then Allah adds that no doubt about it, they were young. They were great young. Allah talks about how young people would be great in times of trials. We think that the youth would be so weak in the times of trial, the temptations, the problems of the youth. But Allah says that the flag bearers of the deen would be the young people. The people of sacrifice are going to be the young people. And this ayah and in this surah, it's a wake-up call for the youth. And Allah says that, and on top of this, we increased them in guidance. When they showed their iman, Allah carved a way for them. He showed them a way to the cave. He guided them to the right mountain. This is called ilham. When Allah puts something in your heart and He shows you the way. And when you decide to truly believe in Allah, then Allah will make a way for you to do something, to start something, to take an action, to make a move, and barakah will come in it. Allah will put barakah in it. And then, so in the next ayah, taking a step back, the timeline goes back. They were standing in front of these young men, they were standing in front of the king, for they were brought to the trial by that king. And in some Tafseer, it's mentioned that the king was Decius. He was named as Decius, and in the Urdu, I guess they call him Dakyanus. And also, when they were brought to the trial in front of the king, they were weak, they were young, so they had fear in their hearts. But we put firmness on their hearts. This phrase is used in the Quran, like وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. We put firmness in their hearts. This phrase is used in the Quran in situations. If emotionally it wasn't there, you wouldn't be able to carry yourself. Emotionally, they wouldn't have been firm on their decisions. Like it is compared to the Musa alayhi salam's mother when she put him in the water with the hope and with the trust on Allah that yes, Allah will save him. So Allah is telling us that here that it was Allah who tied their hearts up, who made their hearts strong and firm on their decisions, and He gave them strength. Allah says that we gave him this as a gift, as a result of their faith, because they had a strong faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at times you are not able to stand on the ground, but Allah makes it possible for us. And Allah said when they stood in front of the king, it was an act of bravery. And when the king asked them, when he inquired them, who is your Lord, who you believe in, what's your religion, they said in a firm way that look, Our master is the master of the skies and the earth. We're not gonna call any other god entity worthy of worship except him. And if we did say something like that, it would be a huge exaggeration in which like you past the limit. So they publicly said that the religion you ask us to have faith in is so out of whack, not even remotely correct. It's not even in the vicinity. How can I consider some of it? It's way out there. So, but they said to the king that these are our nation, like this is our nation, and this phrase is like it has two emotions when they said this is our nation. Like these people have taken up other gods besides Allah. They've wronged themselves, but at the same time they're worried for their people because they still are the same people. They are their nation, they are their families, so they have like a worry for them. That they ask the king that how come they don't bring any authoritative proof? Why are you asking us? Why don't you tell them to bring an authoritative proof? You brought us to trial, why didn't you bring them to trial? Why don't they bring clear proof? Who's the criminal here? Who's the worst wrongdoer than the one who makes up a lie against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And the king said that okay, you're juvenile, so I'll give you a week, but what you've already said is enough death. And if you want to come back and apologize, that's something else, but you have to come to our point. So the king has given them some time, and now they have to decide what to do next. So Allah puts in one of them's heart that, look, now we've got away from them, we've detached from them because of whatever they worship other than Allah. And Allah says that Allah puts this in their hearts, and He's going to expand for you. Your master is going to expand for you from His mercy, and He's going to open for you because the cave is closed, but Allah is going to open it for you. You might feel tight, but things will get better with time, and He will provide for you. He would open for you from your decisions a means of relaxation. He would relax you, He would recline you.